Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save. Only at Outlet Liquor.
What's your outlet?
Folks, welcome to a brand new episode of Degenerate Danger Zone. I'm your host, Degenerate L. We got Slick L in the building. It's obviously Slick Saturday. Show sponsor, New York's only Outlet Liquor. When you need to stock up, it's the place to buy a case. What's your outlet? Slick, how you feeling right now? It's a big Saturday for you.
Yeah, extremely slick. It doesn't get much better than this. The weather is A1 in Buffalo, and, the vibes are immaculate right now, Al. I don't know how you feel.
No, they really are. Obviously, I was very excited. We were texting last night about that Warriors ridiculous cover.
Oh, man.
Slick, did anyone ever think the Golden State Warriors would cover that game in the 6.5?
No, absolutely not. If you're a Mavericks spread better, you got to be sick to your stomach after that. I mean, just an absolute onslaught in that second half. But, the Warriors battle. They did what they do best. They have that championship DNA, and it really showed there in the second half. And Warriors coming away with a huge cover at home.
Yeah, and I know you saw my tweet this morning. We were talking about this. It's weird. Yeah, Golden State is going to be on the road game 3 and game 4, and they're going to be underdogs in both games. I saw the opening spread was Dallas -2, and you could still sprinkle Dallas at plus 550 to win the series. You saw what they did last series against Phoenix. They were down 2-0.
Yep.
And obviously they pulled off the monumental upset in game 7, the massacre. It was a blood. I mean, it was what? I mean, they won by, they were up by 40 at one point. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
So,
50
but yeah.
Damn near.
What'd you say?
50 almost.
No, it literally almost got to 50. So
yeah.
Dallas has been there before. So I think plus 550 is not too crazy after how they looked in the first and second quarter last night.
Especially, and the way they maintained composure in that first series the last series after being down 2-0. You saw Luka coming into the tunnel saying everybody want to act tough when they're up as they're down 0-2. He had no worries at all being down 0-2. You have to think he's got the same mindset.
Yeah.
He's just been taking a beating, man. He's doing a lot for that team. The shoulder's bothering him. He was a little sick last night, apparently, but if anyone can do it, it's Luka Magic. So it'll definitely be exciting to see how things shift once they get to Dallas.
No, exactly. That's gonna be awesome. I think that game 5 or game 3 is tomorrow night.
Yes.
Yeah. So game 3 is tomorrow night. But let's talk about your Celtics. Game 3 series tied up at 1. Celtics are 6-point favorites. A total of 208. Slick L, that's dropping, or that's at 8:30 tonight. What are you liking in this game? Obviously, we know you're a little biased.
Yeah, I think Boston getting that win on the road out of the first 2 Miami games is absolutely huge, especially by the margin that they did. The Heat fans looked absolutely bamboozled. Half of them were gone by halfway through the fourth quarter. And it seemed like the only answer the Heat really had was Jimmy Butler. The Heat are getting Kyle Lowry back tonight, I believe. That's a positive for them. But, he's been out enough where – does it affect your chemistry coming back in? Do you have a little ball rust coming back in, after sitting on the bench for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I think the Celtics can cover this spread. The 6 points always worries me in the playoffs, as like we were talking about that Golden State matchup last night. It looked like a lock for the Mavericks to cover basically the entire first half, and then things just started going south.
Yep.
But I think the Celtics can cover this. I don't think this is another 25-point win necessarily, but the addition of Marcus Smart and Al Horford back brings a totally different defensive presence to these games. And that's what this series is based on, defense. And for a team like Miami that relies on defense, similarly to Boston, they looked pretty pathetic on defense last game.
No doubt. And let's see here. What are your thoughts on that total of 208?
It's a fine line, because it seems like they've been going over just barely under. I think in Boston, I like this under. I think the defense really shows on both sides of the ball. You don't have the Celtics putting up 70 points in the first half again. That was ridiculous. Yeah. As much as I would love for that to happen, I don't see that happening 2 games in a row. But I think the under is pretty safe. I think you need big games out of Al Horford, Grant Williams, which they've been consistently doing in the playoffs. Grant Williams, especially Robert Williams, questionable tonight. If that's the case, you get Grant Williams in there starting lineup with Al Hortford. Grant Williams has been averaging 11.3 points per game this postseason. We all saw that 27-point game in Game 7 he had against Milwaukee. And the books consistently put his over-under points around this 8 or 9 mark. I like the 9.5 over for Grant Williams. He's going to be a big factor in this game if Robert Williams sits the bench tonight.
Love it, Slick. We're going to swing it over now to the NHL playoffs. You know, this is massive for me tonight.
Huge.
This game, Avalanche at St. Louis. Currently, the Avs are around -175 with a total of 6.5. That's 8 o'clock TNT tonight. The Colorado Avalanche in their last game suffered their first loss of the postseason. And, you know, what are reporters and that is everyone talking about the quote unquote second round curse we saw 2 years ago with Dallas knocking them out, big upset. And then, last year, obviously, with the Vegas Golden Knights. This is a huge game, I mean, if you lose tonight, you got to go in Game 4 and win in St. Louis. I mean, you got to get home ice back. You got to split this. And tonight's the night you got to do it because Game 2, I don't know if you saw any of the game, they played awful. It's like they weren't even trying out there. It was really, really poor performance at home.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a totally different Colorado team to what we've been accustomed to seeing, especially in that first series. And I was quite shocked, as I'm sure you were. I think the under looks substantial here, right? They're kind of leaning on that over 6.5. What was last game? 4-1 on the St. Louis side.
Yep.
I haven't seen enough out of the Avalanche, even if they're winning a game, to convince me that their games are going over on the total goals. So, under 6.5 kind of looks appealing to me at that -105. But like you said, this is do or die in St. Louis. And we know how that St. Louis crowd can be. And quite frankly, I'm surprised the Avalanche are still getting that -170 after that last performance. And I think I saw a tweet from you that said Cal Maker is
I don't know if I buy it. I mean, he was the best player in that first round series.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Against Nashville, all of a sudden he's somehow playing hurt. I'm not reading too much into that story. Colorado tonight, you know what? It's like, I kind of like it too. Cause I was seeing some tweets today. I saw, I think Maniac, and then it was either like Joe DiBiase or Chad DiDomenicis were on St. Louis. Like all of a sudden people are on St. Louis. So that makes me like the Avalanche a little more. If I saw more people in the Avalanche, I'd be okay. But yeah, I'm riding with Colorado tonight. And I think the best value there realistically is probably the 60-minute line, 3-way.
Yeah, what's that at -105. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's disgustingly good value. And I think, it's funny you say that because people are so quick to jump to conclusions. Like that Avalanche second round curse that's so different from the Avalanche team you see in the first series.
Yep.
And all of a sudden they lose their first game in the playoffs and we're on the way to St. Louis and everyone's on the Blues. It just doesn't, like you said, it doesn't make too much sense to me. If anything, it makes me want to go Colorado. And I think Colorado has one of those prove it games. They know they're on the ropes. They know that they've had they've had this stigma in the second round.
Yep.
They want to prove everyone wrong, show them why they're Cup favorites. And although St. Louis is a great team, I do think Colorado can get it done here. I do see a close game though. I don't know about that -1.5 on Colorado's end. It'd be safe to say this could be a close one, maybe another OT game. We've been seeing a lot of those, especially the first game of this series. Did not expect it to be an OT game, and it was. So who knows?
I think that's what I'm saying. The first game of the series, it was like the Avalanche on the power play the whole game. I mean, you outshot the Blues 13-0 in overtime. Like, come on, like step it up in Game 3 and go get this win. Mm-hmm. If you have all the pressure on you, Game 4 down 2-1 on the road, oh God, that just terrifies me.
You're the fastest team, the more skilled team. You should be able to get it done here.
Exactly. So let's talk about now. Hey, what we said at the beginning of the show. Happy Slick Saturday. UFC Vegas 55. I know the card's already underway, Slick. We got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we still got around 8 fights left. Is there anything popping out in these final 8?
Yeah, for sure. There's a women's matchup, Tabitha Ricci, Polyana Viana. I like Polyana. I've taken her before in the past. It hasn't come through. 50-50 she has, but she's even money, and I really like her in this matchup. And then in the two featured bouts, the people's main event is the co-main event tonight. The main event, some people might say it's a snooze fest. I think it has a little bit of potential, more than a snooze fest, but we'll see. But the co-main event, Santiago Ponzinibbio and Michelle Piera. These two are very exciting fighters. Brazil versus Argentina. Ponzinibbio, he's been on a little bit of a rut lately, so he's got that plus 125. Piera is, love him or hate him, one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. I don't know if you've seen this guy, Al. This is the guy that does like backflips mid-fight for no given reason.
Yep.
And like I said, love it or hate it, it's electric, and you never know what to expect. He always has constant output. One thing I did not know going into this fight, though, Ponzinibbio, I would have loved him on that dog, but Piera's been winning some really tough matchups. And Ponzinibbio is 35 years old. Piera's only 28.
Wow.
I had no idea because he looks like a grown-ass man. He's only 28 years old, minus 145. There's still some value there. I think you got to take Piera. And then the main event, Ali Holm versus Ketlin Vieira. Like I said, could be a snooze fest. Holly Holm, I don't know why she's still main eventing fights. I think she's like 4-5 in her past 9.
So dog, take the dog?
Could be. I could also see a boring decision victory from Holly Holm. So be careful with the dabbles on the main event, folks.
Okay.
The dog's decent value, plus 185 if you like it, but I do see a Holly Holm decision here probably being the most likely outcome, whether it's split or unanimous.
All right, Slick, and real quick, tell the people what's the biggest fight in UFC's got coming up, whether it's 2 weeks, a month and a half. Like, what would you say for people out there, UFC fans? What are some big fights coming up?
Yeah, well, 2 weeks we got Glover Teixeira and Yuri Prohaska for that light heavyweight title. Glover Teixeira with that insane upset over Jan Blachowicz to win that title at the age that he is. This could be one of his last fights. That's International Fight Week. That card is in Singapore. Wow. On there as well is Valentina Shevchenko. That's always a good fight. Yep. And the third fight on that card too, Wei Li and Joanna Jędrzejczyk making her return to the octagon for that rematch. That was the fight of the year in 2020, if you guys remember.
Wow.
Joanna coming out of that fight looking like an alien with that absolute huge bump in her head. That'll be a banger. Then what I'm most excited for, obviously, I don't think it gets much better, is this 276 card. You got Adesanya and Cannonier, Volkanovski, Max Holloway 3, Sean Strickland and Piera. That's going to be crazy. I think that's going down in Arizona. But, whenever the style bender comes to town, it's must-watch TV in MMA, regardless of my thoughts on that. But and Volk, I think, might be the most dominant champion in the UFC right now. And he's talking, if he gets that third over Max Holloway, they're doing a trilogy, Al. He's already won 2 fights versus Max Holloway. The one people might debate about, but, they're obviously the top tier of the featherweight division. If Volk takes this, there's not much competition there in featherweight. We could even see him go up to lightweight, try to become double champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And I just found out on my phone, Blue Jays win 3-1.
Oh, cover. Let's go.
And they get the cover for Cowboy Hova in his first video for DDZ and Trainwreck Sports. That's awesome. 3-1 win with 2 runs in the 7th inning to take the 3-1 lead. That's awesome. Shout out to Cowboy Hova, who's going to be putting on a lot more content.
Down in Elkville.
Down in Elkville, too. Grinding on the road.
Yeah. Love that.
So real quick, let's get an update, too. PGA Championship. That's been going on all weekend. Tiger had a brutal day today.
Yeah.
Guys, I kind of like this. It is up for grabs. Currently, right now, the favorite is Mito Pereira, plus 320. JT, plus 360. Willie Z, plus 450. Bubba Watson, 7-1. And you even have Matt Fitzpatrick and Cam Young at 10-1. I mean, oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Slick, since we've talked 20 minutes ago, Mito has dropped 2 strokes. He was -9. Now he's -7. And you have Bubba and Willie Z 2 shots back. JT 3 back. Cam Young 3 back. It's a free-for-all. I love it. And Willie Z choked today with shooting 4 over. That's
Willie
not a
Z choked, but he's only 2 back.
no. I know.
That's
I
the
know.
crazy part, and there's value on that plus 450. You know,
I love
and
it.
he's looking for that major win. Cam Young, like you said, and a lot of things you got to look for too on these when you're looking at the scoreboard is where they're through, how much they're down, and where they're through in the round. How much potential is there to screw up? Like you said, Piero with just in minutes of us talking is already down two more
Dude,
strokes.
it's crazy.
So
This course is eating people up, man. So
yeah, and who would have thought, right?
I know.
You got Seamus Power up there. He's through the round, but he's up
25
there.
to 1. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of value with people here. I love
It
it.
really is crazy. Cam Young 10 to 1. That's insane value. Bubba Watson in second is 7 to 1 right now. He's higher value than Willie Z.
After shooting
So
at 63 yesterday.
yeah,
So and he's
crazy.
shooting even par today.
You
What
like
else?
anyone there? You think a winner or
I mean, if I have to take a winner right now, I'd probably take. I like JT at plus 360.
I was gonna say that they have him second on those odds for a reason. A very good one too. So
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Mito. I don't.
no, I definitely don't.
No.
Bubba Watson's an intriguing one. I'd love to see Zalatoris, but I don't think it's going to happen. Cam Young, I think I'm going to keep my eyes on though.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. And then let's see here. We got the Preakness tonight. That's at 7:00. I was wondering. I'm driving down. What was it? Cayuga and Worley today. OTB was packed with
Of course it
vehicles, and I was
was.
like, oh, it's the Preakness today. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, by the way, Slick, unbelievable slate. You're gonna have the PGA Championship final round. Then you have 3 NHL hockey games tomorrow at 1:30. You have Panthers Lightning, which is a pick'em game. Both teams minus 110. 3:30. Then you got Hurricanes Rangers. Must win for the Rangers at the Garden. And then 8:00. You have Flames Oilers. If the Oilers got a big win on the road to even up that series. And then another thing a lot of people aren't talking about, soccer fans, it's the final English Premier League Sunday. All games kick off, I believe, at 11.
Yep.
So that's always fun. I mean, I love doing, parlaying
Definitely.
like first goal scorers and both
Oh
teams
yeah.
to score. So that's gonna be a fun Sunday tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, 3 hockey games. Don't know why they didn't do 2 tonight, but whatever. More hockey, the merrier.
Yep.
And we got that Warriors and Dallas matchup going to Dallas as well. Like you said, loaded Sunday. Going to be a lot of people on the sports book all day, and what better way to do it?
Yeah. No, I'm looking at it right now. It's 9 p.m. tomorrow night, and that line is not moved. Warriors are sitting +2 with that total at 218.5. I think that's an utter hammer on Dallas. I really do.
I do too.
I
I
think
just
Dallas.
can't see
Yeah.
Golden State coming into Dallas and doing what they just did last night.
No, especially after what you saw Dallas did to Phoenix. I mean, they're going home. They're winning at least one. So if they don't win this one, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I mean, if you go down 3-0, then game
Right.
4, yeah, I mean you're kind of
But
shocked.
we've seen that a lot this playoffs where teams' backs are against the wall and they play
Yep.
with desperation. Celtics they did that in the Milwaukee series, to take it to game 7.
Yep.
Even yesterday, they weren't necessarily against the wall. Not yesterday, I'm sorry, the day before. Weren't necessarily against the wall, but it would have been great to get a win in Miami, and they pulled it out. 25-point victory in Miami, which is crazy. Looking at these Preakness names here, I don't know anything about horses, but Skippy Long Stocking, all one word, 20 to 1. Holy hell.
What do you think? Are you dabbling?
You might catch me at OTB within the hour.
Okay.
Early voting at 7 to 2. Oh man, I love this. Creative minister.
Wait, the horse's name is early voting?
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, you gotta love that. Pun intended or not, I don't even know.
Yeah, no,
The favorite here looks like simplification. I don't think it's gonna be simple for simplification.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
No. So that's gonna be fun. 7:00.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely gonna be fun. The Derby was a riot this year, so yeah.
Awesome. Who knows? Hey, we forgot to say happy birthday, DJ Supreme.
Yes.
So gonna be a fun
Indubitably.
night, and who knows? There might be a late night Slick Owl play. Who we'll see.
There could be.
You never know.
There's boxing on tonight, from what I'm aware of. So who knows? Slick Owl might be. He might be the night owl. We never know.
Awesome. Well, folks, thanks for joining us. Oh, and Slick, my chalk, by the way. Who's this Jelton Almeida guy? He's taking on Parker Porter, UFC.
Yeah. I don't know about the chalk there. I really don't.
All right. Well,
You took it?
yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't say be concerned, but Parker Porter has had some interesting decision wins in the past. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, great. All right. Well, hopefully that's my second last leg in that parlay. So hopefully that moves on. But folks, thanks for joining us tonight on a DDZ Saturday edition, sponsored by Outlet Liquor. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow, Slick. We should be back tomorrow, and keep
maybe an
looking out
early
for the
one.
content. Creek Degenerate with the videos. Cowboy Hova now on board. Seneca One Stop Gas at $4.49 a gallon. That's got to be an all-time high for that gas station. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and have a great Saturday night. Good night now.
Outlet Liquor is your place to buy a case. Stock up and save when you shop the lowest prices available every day at Outlet Liquor. You never have to wait for a sale. The more you buy, the more you save.